rise from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I'm Jeff, alongside with me, as always, is Tarek. How you doing tonight?
Oh, come on, Bill. You're kidding me, right? Come on, Bill. I gotta eat, I'm hungry.
Gee, I wonder what we're going to be discussing this week. Sort of the news of the moment that really...
News of the day, because it just pretty much got released today.
Yeah, today was really surreal for multiple reasons. Just things are constantly going. As soon as I wake up, I get news updates and all these different things that just are blowing my mind.
Okay, hello, internet wrestling community. I did my little spiel. Hi,
world. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the show proper, starting with what we always start off with. What do we always start off with, Tarek?
I don't know. Let's go and check behind the curtains and go in on a little backstage news. It's a lot harder without Brian here.
Yeah, Brian. Unfortunately, Brian's on assignment tonight, but
life was just too
we'll
much for that particular scholar.
He needs to go to England. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's where he's in England right now.
I just thought that they would use two doubles.
No. Why would you do that? Is Princess Di still around? She's a babe.
Yeah.
Anyway, backstage news.
News.
Repairman, man. All right, Bill DeMott. He is apparently King Douche. All these allegations are coming out over the past couple days about how he's abusing the trainees at the performance center. This has been going on for some time, and apparently nobody wanted to speak up over threat of losing their job or being blacklisted or any number of things. And only just recently, after people have been coming out en masse about what Bill DeMott has been doing, it seems that WWE can stand it no longer, and Bill DeMott has officially stepped down as of this recording. He is gone, and as of just, I believe, a couple hours ago, the Wrestling Observer just released some sort of report or a rumor that Bill DeMott will be moving into an office job, and taking the trainer position at the Performance Center will be Jason Albert.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, I've never quite seen him in that role before, but let's face it, with the amount of experience that he has, both in WWE and around the world, yeah, I can see that working. And certainly he seems quite well respected and well received. No signs of bullying or anything like that out of Jason Albert.
No bullying?
No bullies.
Oh, you think that's funny? You think that's humorous?
Well, hey, just all the stories that came out around Bill DeMott, just all the stories I heard just compiled into one place just over the past 24 hours. It's staggering how someone like this had a job with the WWE for so long.
Hell, hilariously enough, it kind of did start with Al Snow's little story about Ryan Reeves, a.k.a. Ryback, with if you eat that Rice Krispie treat, you put that Rice Krispie treat in your mouth, I'm going to punch you.
You're kidding, right? Oh, come on, Bill.
And that's where, at this rate...
that is where it kind of all started.
At this rate, that's the happiest memory I've got of Bill DeMott at this rate.
I don't think I ever had a happy memory of Bill DeMott. When I hear that, it's more of a happy story about Ryan Reeves. It makes me love him even more.
Who, Ryan Reeves or Ryback or Bill DeMott?
Ryback, of course. I can't wait for that one day come when I have a giant Rice Krispie treat and he's just will be eating it, and I'll take a picture of it. It's gonna be great.
Let's wait. As soon as we find out that Ryback is doing a meet and greet around here, I can see your eyes are gonna light up. It was like,
Rice Krispie treat!
We must bake the world's biggest Rice Krispie treat now.
No, I'll just go to New York and buy one of those ginormous Rice Krispie treat packs. Actually, I'm going to buy two of them. One, so we can have the picture of him eating one side and I'm eating the other. And one is going to be just an unopened, wrapped Rice Krispie treat with his signature on it.
It's kind of frightening how much thought you've put into this already.
I've had this in my mind for like ages, man. It's going to be brilliant.
Just like, hey, we have a gift for the Mr. Ryback. I'm sorry, gentlemen, they won't allow gifts. Come on, Ryan. Come on, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan, you want a Rice Krispie treat, Ryan? Oh, come on, Ryan. Cracker Barrel? Oh, I heard about those. They don't have any in Las Vegas. I can hardly wait.
Yeah, just watch. Then Ryback is gonna punch us both in the face and get us kicked out of wherever this is.
He wouldn't punch me in the face. He would give me a hug.
Yeah, he'd punch me in the face.
And then it'd be like, he's a bully.
He's a bully.
He's a bully.
But in all seriousness, I am really glad that Bill DeMott is out of here. At least in the role that he's in.
Me too.
Because, again, I've ranted about it before. I'm not going to rant on it again. WWE seems to be... For every one step they take forward, they take another step back. And it's just good to see that at least some of the things that just aren't working right in WWE as a whole, that is one step in the right direction. Who knows if we're going to see a step back anytime soon, but hey, for the meantime, all we can do is trust Jason Elber with the future NXT people.
And we all know he can do well.
I think so.
Trust in Tensai.
Trust in Tensai. I know there's a punchline in there somewhere, but I'm afraid to go down that road. Speaking of being afraid to go down that road, do you remember, I think it was maybe a week or two ago, when I announced on this show that Ring of Honor and New Japan were going to be doing a cross-promotional show in Philly?
You did.
Guess what? Sold out already.
Well, damn. So much for us getting tickets.
Yeah,
really. Go to StubHub and see if we'll find something.
Seriously, every single show that I've seen that's a cross-promotion between New Japan and whatever other promotion anywhere else in the world, they've been selling out like crazy.
It's not surprising at all.
Yeah, still, I expect it to be, oh, here's this little niche thing I heard about. This will be neat. But then, yeah, apparently Global Force Wrestling did its job a little bit too well.
I think it's a little bigger than just a niche.
Yeah,
seeing how quickly.
When you're on the inside of these kinds of things, it can be a little bit difficult to see things objectively, to see how things as they really are from the outside. But hey, as far as I'm concerned, I like seeing things like this get bigger.
It's not surprising. It's also in Philly, in the ECW arena.
Right.
As soon as you say Philly, hardcore wrestling fans will probably be waiting out the door in their wrestling tents, old school with their...
In their wrestling tents.
In their old school wrestling tents with their nice blankets of 80s wrestlers. Yes, I actually do have one of those.
Sleeping with their brawling buddies.
Buddies.
Their vintage brawling buddies.
Yeah, that's Philadelphia. The bastards.
Yeah, them and their vintage collectibles. And their brawling buddies.
Not these today brawling buddy crap that has the...
What are they calling them now? They're,
I don't know. And they...
Bleacher creatures or something?
Wait, what? Bleacher creatures?
They're
new.
calling them something else. They've got the old Brawlin' Buddies, and then they also came out with these other things. I think they're called Bleacher creatures.
Is that the ones with speakers inside of them? Like, when you squeeze their nose? Ow, my nose!
No, that's something else. I don't think... Did they even... When was the last time they even made those?
I don't know.
That must have been, like, maybe 10 years old? I don't know. Welcome to Scholars of Brawlin' Buddies.
The younger scholars have no idea what we're talking about.
Mommy, what's a Brawlin' Buddy? Well, son, I don't even know.
Well, son, it's when the old wrestlers were turned into pillows that you could just beat the crap out of them. Wow, where can I get some of those? You can't because they're really crappy.
At Kmart.
Which is where I saw this great set of action figures with Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Curtis Axel. Axelmania is running wild.
The legendary trio, if there ever is one.
Real Paul Heyman, guys.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's final. I think you just ruined the punchline. That's really... Wow. Kmart is in it all along.
All right, let's get back to New Japan, Pro Wrestling,
Yes.
ECW Arena, Ring
Yes.
of Honor.
Just, well, it doesn't look like we're going to catch him this time around.
Except when it's on TV or on the computers.
On the computer.
On the computer machines.
On the internet.
The inter machines.
Which, speaking of which, leads me into my next segment. I am going to tell you a story about how my snow day went. Because, of course, here on the East Coast, we had another really, really big snowstorm.
It's a lot of fun trying to cave our way in, or cave our way out better. I don't feel like we want to go deeper into the snow.
No, please.
Cave our way
we've got
out of
enough of the snow and ice.
We're probably getting more, I've heard.
Oh,
Mother Nature wants to give us one more middle finger before spring
shut
comes.
your filthy mouth.
It'll never stop.
Anyway,
It'll never stop.
It will never leave. It will never leave.
Never leave.
Anywho,
Woo.
if there is one good thing to say, when I woke up for whatever reason, Thursday morning,
Yes.
I'm just sort of dozing off. I'm sleeping.
Lucky you.
Yeah, sleep happens sometimes.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it is. So I'm sleeping there, and I fell asleep with the TV on. So I'm just sort of sleeping there in the middle of a dream, and the TV's on like minimum volume, not really much coming through the speakers. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I'm just hearing like, "This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test." I'm just like waking up and like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, just like going for the remote or just like going for the TV, just trying to bring down the volume any way that I can.
By throwing the rear remote at the TV and actually end up busting it. It's like, oh my god, what the hell did I do?
Well, I tried that and apparently it didn't work because
You have a very strong TV set.
yes, industrial strength, industrial strength cathode ray tubes. Because I'm in the 90s. Anyway, I finally bring the volume down. And I'm like totally wide awake. It's like 4 a.m. I'm just like jacked up. I'm like, whoa, whatever. I'm grumbling.
That's jacked up, alright.
Yeah, that is pretty jacked up. So I'm just sort of trying to calm down and gather my bearings here. I look at the time and I realize, wait a minute. In Japan time, New Japan is having another pay-per-view in like 15 minutes. So I grab myself a cup of coffee and I watch what is apparently the New Japan day one of the New Japan Cup. Now you're probably looking at me like, say, Scholar Jeff, what the hell is a New Japan Cup?
Can I drink out of it?
Actually, maybe. But really, this is the answer to the question we've always been asking ourselves. Why doesn't the WWE bring back King of the Ring? Well, because New Japan is already doing it, and has been doing it pretty much very consistently for decades now.
That is not an acceptable answer for that.
No, it's not, but it's something we get anyway, and it's pretty awesome. It's basically, New Japan Cup is basically King of the Ring, where the winner gets a title shot of their choosing. So, yeah, it kind of matters a lot. You want to win this thing.
Wouldn't the title of your choosing kind of be irrelevant since you're automatically just going to go for the big belt?
Not necessarily. Also, keep in mind that this is also a company that makes good use of their Intercontinental title right now.
That is true. And I'm a man who loves the Intercontinental title.
Yes, and right now, the New Japan Intercontinental title held by Nakamura. So, very good thing.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up indeed. The only caveat to this whole little tournament experience is because that the brand prize is a shot at a title, AJ Styles and Nakamura are not in this tournament. So, other than that, that's really the only downer. But they did have Nakamura in another match on this card, at least for the day I was watching it. So, let's get right into it, shall we?
Indeed.
Yeah, apparently they like to... I don't know what it is about New Japan. Maybe some of our listeners will know something else, but apparently they really like their 8-man tag matches to open up their shows.
Holla, holla, holla.
Holla, holla, get dollar. And I don't really remember who won this match. It was a warm-up match. All I know is...
And you were half asleep, so...
Yeah, I was still in the process of waking up. The coffee hadn't really made its way through my veins yet. All I know is I saw Jushin Thunder Liger, which was cool. So it's like, hey, Liger and some other guys I don't know. This is cool. Because, I'm still learning what everyone's doing. So, yeah. 8-man tag wasn't really relevant to the tournament propers. But, hey, it's all good. Next match. The first official match in the first official match in the match. Bleh.
There you go.
I can't talk tonight. The first official match in the New Japan Cup is Yoshihashi versus Yujiro Takahashi. Now, if you remember any of these names, you remember Takahashi is basically the Japanese guy in the Bullet Club.
Yes.
Yes. And I was like, okay. And you know what? I learned something today. Or that day. Couple things. Number one, I learned what Takahashi's actual gimmick is outside of the Bullet Club. His nickname? Mr. All Night Long.
All night long.
And he is basically the equivalent of PG Val Venus.
You got me back on Val Venus.
And for a second there, they got me back too, because I'm not sure if you remember this during our talk about Wrestle Kingdom 9. You remember Takahashi came out with a really, really hot chick that I was like going goo-goo for?
I think you got to catch that drool coming out of your mouth with that one.
Yeah, well, apparently she's his ring girl now.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey, it's that girl. Woohoo!
Eye candy.
Oh, you have no idea. Unless you've seen Wrestle Kingdom 9, damn. Seriously, damn. So, yeah, after this, everything is just sort of like a blur. I guess I vaguely remember a wrestling match happening now. But basically what it boils down to is Takahashi wins. He goes over Yoshihashi, which basically has like a Goku gimmick or something. I don't even know what's going on with that dude. Basically, Takahashi wins. Mao, or whatever her name is, dances around for a little bit, looks gorgeous, and since he advances, hopefully we'll get to see more of her in the future. So, yeah, very good start.
Now I'm just hearing Val Venus' theme song in my head.
It's actually remarkably similar. It's just slightly less raunchy.
I know
Hello, ladies.
I know what I'm listening to when I head home tonight.
Yeah, I can see you driving home to your wife, just like, hello, ladies. All right, next match.
I'm sorry, I really do miss Val Venus.
Yeah, apparently he's an advocate for pot now.
Okay.
Yeah, like for marijuana legalization or something. But hey, that's on him. He does him. He does him. You
Hello,
do you.
ladies.
And Mao will do. Anyway, moving on. Next match. We got Togi Makabe going over Tomoki Hanma. I'm horribly butchering that name. I apologize. This one was actually much funnier than I was expecting. If Togi Makabe, in case you don't remember the name, if you saw his face, he's blonde, he comes out, he's got like a scarred up forehead, comes out in the ring in chains. Generally looks like a real badass. Then comes out Hanma. This guy knows many moves, but is known for only one.
Armbar.
Close. The diving headbutt. This
How's
guy.
that close?
It's not. This guy, I've never seen a match of his before, but Hanma apparently likes to do diving headbutts all day. Like, instead of doing a regular move, he'll just do a headbutt.
Instead of a clothesline, he just does a headbutt.
Where some people will drop an elbow on somebody, he'll do a headbutt. When someone will do a flying splash off the top rope, he'll do a headbutt. Whenever he's trying to do a suplex, he does a headbutt. Whenever he goes for a running lariat, he just stops dead in his tracks and does a headbutt.
I wish we can go. He tries to do a spear, but it
almost looked like that. He was doing some sort of running move. He stops dead in his tracks. And he just falls on his face and does a headbutt.
Headbutt.
It was the most bizarre yet funny thing I've seen at New Japan in quite some time. And you know what? They actually get a really decent match out of it. This match was fun. Again, you need to. This is one of those matches you gotta see for yourself. Either way,
sounds like it's an event you have to see.
Oh yeah, this one. I'll tell you what. We'll get to it in time, but this whole event is just way full of surprises that I never saw coming. Mao aside and headbutts. Mao and headbutts. That's how I knew this was going to be a good show. Anyway, Togi Makabe advances. Crazy monkey man that he is. It's great. Too bad Brian isn't here for this next match. Shibata goes over Satoshi Kojima.
Yeah, I miss Brian.
Yeah.
We need his little Kojima!
Yes, that one was good. Another fine match. A lot of these matches really were good, and none of them went beyond like maybe 15, 16 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went at a really brisk pace. Everything was great. Anyway, moving on. Next match, we have Hiroki Goto going over Yuji Nagata, which surprised me a little bit. If you remember, not long ago, Nagata was actually competing for, or at least making a run for the Intercontinental title when feuding with Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they were giving him sort of a push, but I guess they have something different in mind. So Hiroki Goto wins. Next match, this one seemed to be the intermission match. This was another 3-man tag with Team Chaos of my boy Shinsuke Nakamura, Tomohiro Ishii, and some guy named Sakuraba of Team Chaos going against Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Captain New Japan, and some other guy who I couldn't identify and I just never heard of. When all three of these guys came out, I'm just looking at them like, okay, it's 3 really, really good guys, really strong guys against literally the Job Squad. Because really, think about, it's like if you put Shawn Michaels in his prime, pair him with Taz in his prime, with maybe, I don't know, Daniel Bryan, and then you put them against 2 members of the Job Squad and maybe, I don't know, the WCW television champion. I don't know. Because that's one other thing I wasn't aware of. Apparently, Hiroyoshi Tenzan is, as of right now, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
And that he was put in this match?
Yeah, for some reason. So basically, Nakamura and pals, they win. And at the end of the match, Tenzan raises his belt like, I'm still the champ. And meanwhile, Nakamura and Ishii, because they're still the title holders, they're like, wait, what are you doing? And then they held up their belts. Like, come on, we got more belts. So it was another amusing little aside. Again, Nakamura has seizure on the ramp. It's all great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good times, good times. Next up, we get to the other matches that seems that has all the real heavy hitters based in New Japan and the rest of the Bullet Club. First off, we have Kota Ibushi going over Doc Gallows of the Bullet Club. This one was surprisingly good. I mean, I've already expected a lot from Kota Ibushi after Wrestle Kingdom 9. But seeing Doc Gallows go, it's one of those matches where you realize how much he was really wasted in WWE. And we're thinking, it makes you think of what could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But still, great stuff. And I also noticed one other little anomaly. Walking out to the Bullet Club, there was another guy that I didn't immediately recognize. Because normally they come out with some degree of entourage.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know, Tama Tonga was all over the place, not in his paint. He was just sort of being a general hype man. But then there was this other kid that I didn't really recognize. There's some familiar about him, but I couldn't quite place a face for a while. It was Cody Hall. Which
one's Cody Hall?
Scott Hall's son.
Oh, okay. Now I'm like, Cody Hall, why do I know this?
Yeah, apparently he quietly joined the Bullet Club around the time of Wrestle Kingdom 9, and I just totally forgot about it. I was like, oh yeah, he's here too.
Oh yeah, he exists.
But yeah, Kota Ibushi goes over. Personally, I think Kota Ibushi after his match at Wrestle Kingdom 9, I think he's going to win this thing.
What is this? Was it just like semifinals?
This is the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, okay. Yeah.
What they're doing is, just to bring you up to speed, This match was just strictly quarterfinals.
Okay.
Then actually on Sunday, they're actually going to do semifinals.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know. I guess. Anyway, they're breaking up into 3 rounds basically.
Mm-hmm.
First round was the opening matches. That was a day ago, as the time of this recording. On Sunday, they're going to do more matches, and then I believe on the 15th or 16th, that's when they're going to be doing the semifinals and finals. So they're basically stretching it out all across 3 days.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's how you do a tournament.
Again, basically everything we wanted out of the King of the Ring is just in New Japan. So, bagoo. Anyway, rolling on. Next match. Another member of the Bullet Club, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, wrestles Tetsuya Naito. This probably, in all honesty, was probably match of the night. Carl Anderson, for someone you don't really see too much of or have ever seen much of in the States, this guy can go. This guy's legit. And him and Naito just had a great match. If you get a chance to see it, definitely see it. Unfortunately, Naito goes over Carl Anderson. Still a damn good match. Carl Anderson had a great showing. It's all very good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have what could possibly be the two main events of the evening. We have Tanahashi, basically the John Cena of New Japan, who just got beat for the world title by AJ Styles not even maybe a month ago, facing some guy named Toru Yano. I have never heard of this guy before, but apparently his gimmick right now, DVD salesman.
Oh, okay.
My
Random
exact
gimmick.
Yeah, my exact reaction too. And this guy's not even like cut or anything. This guy's such a unusual body type. I was like, you know what? I know where I've seen this guy before. This guy's got a physique like mine the last time I came out of a Sizzler on All You Can Eat night. It was the most bizarre thing.
It's a very interesting way to put it.
Okay, this is probably going to be a squash match. Okay, no. People want to see Tanahashi. I get it. He's still a draw. Okay, this is probably going to be a very quick match. And you know what? It was. It was only like wasn't even 3 minutes. Because you know what? Yano pulls the hair, rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. DVD salesman Sizzler guy goes over the
John Cena.
The John Cena of New Japan, clean as a whistle.
Is this? It's not going to go anywhere. It was just the whole whoa surprise victory, and then he'll get eliminated the next round.
But still, it's something you never expect to see. It's just weird. It's like
I think that was the whole point.
It's
like, hey, surprise! You think he's going to be an easy victor? Nope.
It's like if Mr. Bob Backlund came out and wrestled John Cena, and they just rolled him up with a small package. 1, 2, 3.
That sounds more like Brooklyn Brawler. Doing a quick roll up on Cena and winning.
I don't know. I'm just pulling that example out of my butt. It was either way. It was just really, really bizarre. Cool that they're mixing it up, but still really, really friggin' weird. But hey, something new. It freshens it up. We're gonna have someone new. It's gonna be great. And finally, the main event. My other favorite, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada against Bad Luck Fale of the Bullet Club. This one, I fully expected Okada to win.
It didn't.
Didn't happen.
Wow.
Bad Luck Fale sets him up for a razor's edge. Boom. Again, for a heel faction, you expect a lot more interference? No. 1, 2, 3. Bad Luck Fale beats him. Goes over.
Come on, it's not every time. Like, the whole heel faction can't be a major factor in victories all the time, which WWE should really learn.
Yeah, and I think that's what really got to me. I was still used to WWE's lousy programming, quote unquote, that when something interesting and different and actually happens, where they actually make guys like Bad Luck Fale actually look good and imposing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, it's almost like I'm watching the way things should be for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. But yeah, anyway, that was the show. Really made my morning, especially when I found out that I didn't have any place to be after we got a state of emergency call on over here on the East Coast. So yeah, that was my morning, watching New Japan and getting woken up by
the emergency broadcasters.
Yes, because that was necessary and fun. So yeah,
You should look up a highlight reel of that event.
I shall. I believe it's up on Daily Motion somewhere. So yeah, New Japan Cup. Check them out. That was day 1. Day 2 should be up and hitting the web maybe sometime Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, check it out. I'll see if I can post a link somewhere on the Scholars Facebook page. Pass it along, share the wealth, all good stuff. But meanwhile, that's Japan. Let's talk briefly about how things are back home on Monday Night Raw.
Just this week in general with WWE.
Yeah, just the highlights of at least what we got.
As the road to WrestleMania continues to build. Didn't really build a lot this week.
Yeah, I think they know that there's still quite some time left before they really need to bring it all home. But still, it's not like this week was not without its talking points and its highlights, too.
The stars that needed the spotlight for WrestleMania had the spotlight.
Oh yeah,
Simply
definitely.
put.
Yeah, they're pushing it and we're keeping things rolling just as they should. Unfortunately, I got in kind of late, so I missed some of this. What do you make of the Reigns Rollins segment, and just what Reigns and Rollins were doing just all tonight?
Oh, with the Reigns Rollins opening segment, all it was really was just Rollins really calling out Jon Stewart for later, and Reigns comes in as just declaring a match. That was, at least that's how I thought it, because I really wasn't paying attention to this one because it's really a lackluster build. I was really just looking forward for Rollins and Jon Stewart to do a little interaction, which was really the highlight of this show. That's really what the main focus of this Raw was.
Mm-hmm.
Building up for the big matches for Mania, and Rollins versus Stewart.
And you know what? I'm just glad I didn't miss the Rollins versus Stewart segment. That was gold. I was sort of worried that Rollins was going to trip over his lines or just do something silly, or that Jon Stewart wasn't going to quite stick the landing. But you know what? I'm going to come right out and say it. He is probably one of the best guests they've had in a very long time. If he's second to anybody, he's probably just second only to Bob Barker.
And Arnold, because you can't go in a fist fight with Triple H on SmackDown and just say, "Oh yeah, that was okay."
Yeah, at the time, years ago, that was good. But as far as recent memory,
okay,
as far as the guest host era, quote unquote.
When it comes to the guest host era, my top 3 have to be Jon Stewart, Bob Barker, and Pee Wee Herman.
And Pee Wee Herman.
Those are my top 3.
Pee Wee Herman is
And
definitely
I guess Hugh Jackman.
Woo woo woo, I knew it.
And how he made up with Dolph Ziggler when he came back.
You know what? Why you gotta cherry pick all the good stuff? You're ruining my point.
Well, really, that was it. No one else who came in was really great. I mean, there was Larry, the cable guy, the 2 hosts of that whatever morning show. That, you know what? Let's get back to the good stuff.
Yeah, no,
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
It was an awesome promo between the two. Those two worked great together. The only real complaint I had is that it's really foreshadowing Seth Rollins cashing in on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Let's face it. I think at this rate, a lot of us are still just hoping that it's going to happen anyway.
Oh yeah. We could still. It's still that like we're gonna be happy when it happens because we were just really hoping it does. But they're just kind of like teasing us a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, let's just have them bring. It's like, oh, Jon Stewart comes in. It's like, you know what? If the Authority loves you so much, why aren't you in the match? gee, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like you're not going to be involved with the final segment of WrestleMania.
But hey, you know what I actually loved?
How interactive he was, and what the knowledge that Jon Stewart had in wrestling.
Well, that was awesome to see. But specifically, he talked about the Money in the Bank briefcase. He said, "You know what? I was there. I saw what happened. That briefcase should have not have gone to you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know whose briefcase that is." I was like, wow, he actually went there.
Jon Stewart endorses Dean Ambrose.
And he knows what he's got to say and when to say it. And it wasn't like he made him look foolish. He was just like, he's punking him out, sure. But he never made him look weak. He actively put him over as a liar, a cheater, as a physical threat.
And as just a great heel.
Yeah. And it worked so well. Like, to see a celebrity at Jon Stewart's level actually get it and understand what it's all about and do it so well, that was a source of like personal happiness, I guess. It's like, he gets it. Someone of influence actually gets it. This is so great.
Brian and I were actually talking about this as the show was going on, saying Jon Stewart was just really on his A game, and
oh yeah,
he is a future Celebrity Wing Hall of Famer just from this one whole series.
Oh yeah, definitely. If they need to just fill spots, I mean, hey, let's face it. I like Drew Carey, but if he got in just for making one appearance
At Mania,
yeah, that's
or not Mania, the Rumble. I'm sorry,
the Royal Rumble. Yeah,
trying to give Kane money.
Yeah, not bad for only 8 minutes of screen time, but still. Jon Stewart, I hope this continues. Hopefully, if they need it for him to do something with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, I can see it.
Seth Rollins needs another kick in the nuts.
Oh yeah, to at least even if they just put him in the opening match, just so they soften him up, and then by the time he comes out, he's all fresh and ready to go and ready to cash in 1, 2, 3, whatever. I can see it happening.
Well, it's obvious they're going to have him face Orton for Mania. So, the whole, maybe just... If anything, just have Jon Stewart be sitting in the audience.
Yeah, just even if they do something like that could still be fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd like it. Free tickets to WrestleMania? Of course.
Oh, of course.
But now, we talked about Dean Ambrose for a minute. Ambrose had a match with Wade Barrett. Break this down for us. What on earth happened here?
I honestly don't even remember the match itself. The only real thing I'm focusing on is just how many people they're really getting involved trying to get into this Intercontinental title ladder match.
Yeah, this was weird. The way they executed this.
In a way, it's really fun what they're doing with the Intercontinental Championship because everybody's wanting it. It's not like they're just having thrown together matches. People are actually wanting to go for the title.
Yeah, there is some build, but still, have we ever seen something like this before where people just keep,
stealing it?
Yeah.
Well, we do have people stealing the titles, but not like a dozen people wanting to steal the title and just making Wade Barrett kind of look like an idiot.
Yeah, this is just...
This
is bizarre.
It's so weird that the entire build for this is making Wade Barrett look like crap. Even R-Truth is getting a somewhat decent build in this, involvement in the storyline. And Wade Barrett is just looking like a complete moron who can't keep a hold of the Intercontinental title and letting a bunch of people continuously steal it from him.
Yeah, if there wasn't lots of time before now in WrestleMania, I'd say, if they just did the match, tomorrow, that would be really concerned. But I think there's still plenty of time for more shenanigans to happen and maybe more talking from Bad News himself. So, there's still lots more time and energy they can devote to this.
Well, I could be perfectly honest. Since we talked about the tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling, I really wish, with all these people they're trying to get in on this tournament, on this match, I would like to see an Intercontinental Championship tournament.
That would be cool.
And have, the final, maybe the semifinals be the pre-show for WrestleMania. And have the finals match be on the main card. just so we can get something more interesting than a bunch of guys randomly trying to get their way into this tournament. Or not...
match.
Into this ladder match. I want it to be a tournament because they could have just simply announced the people who are going to be in this match the first time when they officially announced it on the SmackDown. Was it last week or the week?
I think so. Yeah.
Instead, they're just throwing random names in there. From what I read earlier, the confirmed names in this match: Dolph Ziggler, Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose, and Luke Harper.
Hey, you can't go wrong with that.
And a free name later. And from what it's looking like, it's a toss-up between Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, Goldust. Oh, wait, R-Truth is in the match, too. There's still one spot left, but...
Yeah, I thought I heard something about just earlier today that Stardust was going to be in on it.
Him and Goldust are trying to get in on it as well. It's like, with all these people wanting to go for it, obviously they're going to put Daniel Bryan in. And... interestingly enough, I can actually see him winning the match at Mania.
Oh yeah, if Daniel Bryan is going to be in this match, I have no doubt that he's going to win it.
It's either him or Dean Ambrose, since he's the one who initially wanted to go for the IC belt.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't know.
But
unless they really are dead set on doing Sheamus versus Bryan.
And that's exactly what I was going to go with, because I could see this Intercontinental Championship feud with Sheamus and Bryan. A new heel, a new member of the Authority, Sheamus, versus a newly won Intercontinental Champion, Daniel Bryan.
A heel Sheamus. Interesting idea.
Like, maybe have Daniel Bryan win the Intercontinental Championship, have Stephanie come out congratulating him, doing the whole continuing the feud between the Authority and Daniel Bryan, and then all of a sudden Sheamus just comes from behind and bro kicks him. And then he shows him celebrating with the belt, the Intercontinental Championship, saying he's going to go for it, lay it on Daniel Bryan, start the feud.
Interesting. I remember thinking back to Sheamus' first debut and how great he was as a heel. I think I would actually get something out of this. I'd probably dig it.
Because really, what more can Sheamus do as a face?
Maybe do something a little bit more interesting than what he's been doing for the past few years.
Which is not saying much.
Yeah.
There really isn't much to say, and they need like another good heel. At least a strong heel. At least another addition to the Authority.
At least not another match with Alberto Del Rio for the 12 millionth time. The Intercontinental Championship is one of the things I'm really looking forward to when it comes to WrestleMania. Oh yeah, put any of those guys together in a ladder match.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be that match. It's going to be gold.
Probably open up the show.
Hopefully not. I want this to get a little bit more spotlight. But
oh yeah, me too. But
no matter where it is on the card, it's going to be good. Speaking of gotta be good, we got another Bray Wyatt segment this week.
Another showing that Bray Wyatt can take a feud, completely carry it on his shoulders by himself, and just pose to the crowd saying, "Yeah, that's right. I'm doing this all by myself."
The buzzards, and I can make it follow them.
Follow the buzzards. Find me.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I think Bray Wyatt, it's not going to be too long before we get some sort of response from The Undertaker.
It'll probably be the Raw before Mania, if to have him involved.
That could be.
If anything,
personally, I think we're going to get something a little bit sooner. But go ahead.
If anything, they'll probably have him do a little video package, something similar to Sting accepting Triple H's invitation, like an old school promo. Like, remember when Yokozuna beat Taker in the casket match, and Taker, the casket started smoking, and Taker came on the video, the Titantron, and said he's going to be coming back. Something similar to that fashion.
I can see that.
And who knows? Maybe there's going to be some... How many more weeks till Mania? 2?
I think there's more like 3, at least. We got time.
Yeah. And from SmackDown, Bray Wyatt says he's going to use the power of the urn. He's going to release the spirits of the urn. Who knows what that means?
Oh, that's good. If they blow the special effects budget on this feud, which I really think they should, They can do all sorts of crazy stuff.
It just shows everything. Like, Bray Wyatt is a future player in WWE.
At least they seem to think they still have, thankfully, enough confidence in them that where they still want to be a big major force. And I'm glad for that.
Just the shot of him lighting the casket on fire. It gave me goosebumps because I'm just like, this is the feud for WrestleMania for me.
Mm-hmm.
This one's number one for me.
Yeah,
Screw the title match. Forget possibly Cena versus Rusev. We want Bray Wyatt versus Taker.
It's really the only thing holding my interest in Mania at this point.
And Michelle McCool posting pictures of Undertaker working out, basically building himself back up. This is going to be great.
Yes. I'm not worried about Taker in the slightest because we get the same thing every year. We see him letting himself go a little bit. He's letting his hair go gray. I was like, oh, I don't think he's going to make it to WrestleMania. And then months later, he trains himself back up and he looks fine.
He looks awesome.
I mean, he's still showing his age, but for the most part, he looks like he can still generally go.
If he continues doing this once a year thing, absolutely.
Personally, I think this should still... I'm going to probably address this later in a future episode, but personally, I think this probably should be his last. Do it, put it over Bray Wyatt, and then, right off in the sunset and take your place in the Hall of Fame.
It's so funny you were saying that Bray Wyatt going over Taker. People are saying, oh no, he can't lose twice at WrestleMania. My question is, why not?
Exactly. The streak is already broken.
Yes, the streak is broken, and just because he loses another match at Mania doesn't mean it will tarnish his legacy.
Yeah, you can't tarnish the Undertaker's
Nothing
legacy
can hurt the Undertaker now. He can lose the rest of his matches, and he's still the Undertaker.
Boom. He's set for life. Flat out. Speaking of set for life, there's someone else on tonight's Raw that is set for life. Right now. And you know who it is.
Running wild.
Axelmania is running wild, and I still cannot believe it's getting over to the degree that it is.
My initial response to this segment, with John Cena and Stephanie, and then Curtis Axel coming out, Curtis Axel just saved his career. He's now on the point where he's no longer in the bottom ranks of people getting fired post WrestleMania. Granted, John Cena completely destroyed him, to much of the dismay of everybody.
Except John Cena.
Because,
it's what he
nothing
does.
can hurt John Cena.
John Cena's a golden boy, damn it.
What I just love about the whole segment with Stephanie and John Cena is, one thing, Stephanie's like, you think you're going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? No, thank you. It's like, who says you can join? He's like, I don't know, everyone else was joining. Everyone else says they're in it. Even Adam Rose. It's like, no, you don't have to be at WrestleMania. John Cena needs WrestleMania. WrestleMania doesn't need John Cena, and much to the pleasure of all the New Jersey fans that Raw, they were chanting yes, yes at the thought of John Cena not showing up at Mania.
East Coast is Beast Coast, I'll tell you what.
And then, of course, I never thought I would hear it, Axelmania chants.
Oh man, that was another really, really weird moment for me. It's like, is this really happening? Is Axelmania seriously getting over right now? Yes, it is.
Well, at least in Jersey it is.
Hey,
who knows how it'll be taken in by the rest of the world?
Hey, it's something new. It's something different, and not for nothing, Axel's getting a little bit of TLC here.
Here's what I want to see. I even talked to Brian about this. I'm just because I sent both of you guys a message. I was like, Axelmania running wild, and he says he's loving what's going on, and we were all. Even in past episodes, we were all trashing Curtis Axel. Even me, who was a fan of Curtis Axel from the beginning, to the point where it's like, okay, he's not going anywhere. I want to see Hulk Hogan be like, you know what, brother? I like what you're doing. I respect what you're doing. You're taking something and you're going with it. I endorse Curtis Axel.
Word.
Hulkamania endorses Axelmania. That's what I want to see.
maybe we'll still get that moment. If he maintains that momentum, I think he might have a shot, at least for a little cameo here.
I love the hashtag Axelmania shirt. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it, but I just was like, granted, I am going to buy the new Bray Wyatt shirt, the new Face of Fear. Oh man,
that looks sick.
That shirt looks awesome. It looks like one of the couple Undertaker shirts I have,
which I think is what they're going for.
Which
obviously
is amazing.
And now this brings it to our main event. Rollins beating Roman Reigns after a cheat.
And it all ends up with Reigns really taking out the entire Authority. Just so he can continue to look strong in what's looking like the biggest lackluster main event in recent WrestleMania memory.
I'll tell you what, the Wrestling Observer, and especially Brian Alvarez, have been all over this for the past couple weeks. I believe it was Dave Meltzer who said that something to the degree of Roman Reigns has to be the weakest looking guy who is going to be main eventing in a WrestleMania in quite some time. And of this match in particular, Brian Alvarez said something to the degree. He went on this big, huge tirade about the state of Roman Reigns and how, if he's supposed to be looking so strong, why is he getting pinned clean after falling flat on his face after being tripped?
I don't even know. Because they still wanted to make him look strong by first diving over the ropes to take out the Authority, spearing Kane, spearing the Big Show, and spearing Seth Rollins when Rollins was jumping off the turnbuckle. Okay. Is it trying to ignore the fact that he still lost?
I guess now we're back in WWE logic.
And now we're going back and this whole situation with Brock Lesnar. This main event is just looking like complete garbage. With a champion who's not really willing to show up for God knows what reason. A lackluster man going for the title, which in certain aspects they are building somewhat pretty well, with showing how dominant he can be by taking out an entire stable.
Right after he loses
a match. Two faults don't make a right.
You're right, they don't.
But, yes, he's still looking strong, but not to a point where he still can face Brock Lesnar. This match, oh, God, I can't continuously say this, but I'm going to. This match is just not going to be well, because no one believes that Roman Reigns can actually defeat Brock Lesnar clean. There's no one in WWE that could defeat Brock Lesnar clean. Nobody.
Well, there was...
No one!
Well, there was that one guy, but then WCW was like, nah. And WWE was like, nah.
Seriously, the only closest way that made Brock Lesnar look like he could lose the title was when Seth Rollins almost cashed in on him and John Cena stopped him.
So what you're saying is, so it shall be again?
Seth Rollins will probably succeed in cashing in at WrestleMania. That's my final prediction. And I think I personally think it's going to be on Brock Lesnar. Because getting the championship off of Brock Lesnar for Seth Rollins would do a lot more for him than anything for Roman Reigns.
I actually totally agree. And
Seth Rollins cashing in on Roman Reigns means nothing. Seth Rollins cashing in at Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania after a year ago taking out the Streak, that will do great things for you.
Hopefully that's what they do, but
it looks like they're going to try. Look, I'm skeptical too. They're probably just going to have him cash in on Roman Reigns just so they can have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the title, which they started hinting at this past Raw with Jon Stewart.
Square peg, meet round hole. Again and again and again.
Facepalm, 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 facepalm.
Well, that was Raw, and just taking us out. What would you give this in beard rating?
This past Raw?
This past Raw.
I think just anything, a classic goatee, just because Axelmania, which I'm surprised myself, Bray Wyatt, and Jon Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, even though there was still the flotsam that normally comes with most Raws, there was still a lot to like and pretty decent in advancing everything.
Yeah, Triple H and Booker T, it didn't do anything for me. It just shows Triple H is more of an ass because he can just he displays the power he has by quote-unquote firing Booker T, showing that he has the power. Okay, it's just taking more guys who've dealt with Sting in the past and just saying, oh, you can't stand up to Sting, you don't have the power, you're fired. Oh, I have the power.
He's a bully.
He's a bully.
But yeah, you know what? I thought that was fine.
It was fine for what they're doing, but
no, we'll see. Thankfully, there's still plenty of time to refine all these different storylines. So I'm not too worried yet.
I say Triple H shoving down Ric Flair had a bigger impact than him possibly firing Booker T.
Oh, definitely. This to me was just sort of a transitory segment until the real stuff amps up, like maybe a week or two beforehand.
Okay.
But anyway, that was the Raw that was. A lot of stuff happened in This Week in Wrestling, but we know what? We also want to hear what you think about it all. So, as always, drop us a line, comment on this video, check us out on Facebook, The Scholars of Wrestling Show. Drop us a line there, leave us a comment, like us if you like us, and like us if you really like us. And if you really like us even more than that, like this video, and feel free to subscribe. Get free videos in your mailbox, your physical mailbox. We'll email YouTube videos to you. We won't actually do that. But you will get free entertainment from us every single week. And you will get fresh, hot out of the oven updates whenever we update a new episode or upload something to make you smile. Because we love you. Except we don't actually know most of
We love our fans. Simply put, we love the people who listen in on us, continuing what we love doing.
Yes, we love you. Why do we love you? Because we are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
Now it's time to watch some New Japan and cleanse our palates.
I'm just going to watch more Bray Wyatt promos because that's really the only thing that I'm looking forward to when it comes to WrestleMania.
Do it.